Investigation is underway after police say a woman identified as an Alief ISD teacher's aide was found dead with multiple gunshot wounds at her home in Sugar Land.
28-year-old Wendy Duan was a passionate third-grade language arts teacher at Boone Elementary in Houston, Texas. She was smart, beautiful, and enjoyed life. She dedicated herself to her job and found true fulfillment in helping her students learn and grow. Wendy had recently ended a relationship and was looking for love again, but her search for love led her down a dangerous path. Wendy met a man on a dating app who she thought was a perfect match for her. Unfortunately, her trust in him would prove fatal. A typically quiet evening in Sugar Land, Texas was shattered on January 7, 2023, when reports of a shooting came in at 9:50 p.m. When police rushed to the area of the shooting, they found a horrific scene waiting for them. Wendy, the beloved third-grade language arts teacher, was lying lifeless in her own backyard.
Around 9:50 p.m. last Saturday, investigators say the two were hanging out with Duan's friends at her home on Oxford Mills Lane in Sugar Land when they started arguing.
It had started inside the house. It kind of spilled into the backyard of the house. At that point, gunfire erupted, and our witnesses had actually left the house at that point for their own safety. She was shot multiple times, over 10 times, so very brutal, very callous murder.
Investigators say Thompson then left in his own vehicle. His car later identified by surveillance cameras nearby and tracked to Louisiana by the Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force.
I just heard that her students loved her a lot. I really feel sad for them. I feel sad for the family. Hope they overcome this.
The story of Wendy's tragic death takes an even more chilling turn when you consider the events leading up to her murder. A week before that fateful night, Wendy met Charvas Thompson on a dating app called Meet Me. She was eager to jump back into the dating scene and was excited about meeting new people. Their first face-to-face meeting on New Year's Eve went well, and Wendy was thrilled about introducing him to her friends. She even invited them over to meet him for the first time. But things quickly took a dark turn. Shortly after the gathering, an argument erupted between Wendy and Charvas, and it spilled outside. What happened next is almost too horrifying to even comprehend. Charvas, without hesitation, fired more than 10 shots at Wendy, ending her life in a hail of bullets. What could have driven Charvas to such a heinous act? Did he bring the gun with intentions of killing her from the start?
Out of nowhere, just 4 very distinct gunshots is what I heard. And it was quite scary at the moment, so I dropped everything I was doing and came outside.
This morning, neighbors in this typically quiet Sugar Land neighborhood telling ABC 13 they're in shock after learning one of their neighbors was shot and killed.
A nice neighborhood, a lot of families here, so it is very unusual for that to happen here. Yeah.
Sugar Land PD say Saturday, just before 10 p.m., they responded to this home after hearing several gunshots.
I heard 4 very distinct pops, so...
When officers arrived, they found 29-year-old Wendy Duan dead in her backyard.
Prior to the gathering at her home, Wendy had shared details about her new potential love interest with her mother. In fact, she even showed her a picture of him. However, Wendy's mother's reaction was immediate and alarming. She took one look at Charvas's face and sensed an evil lurking behind it.
Her mother says Wendy had mentioned Thompson, someone she immediately had a bad feeling about.
She said, why? I said, this guy, the face, not a good guy.
Despite her mother's warning about the potential dangers of meeting someone online, Wendy went ahead with the gathering, never imagining the horror that would soon unfold. Charvas fled over 260 miles to Louisiana after killing Wendy. He was later discovered at a residence and arrested. He was in the process of being extradited back to Fort Bend County to face murder charges. But in an unexpected twist, Sugar Land, Texas police announced this week that Charvas was found dead in a jail cell in Louisiana.
Police say the man arrested and charged for killing an Alief ISD teacher in January has died. Investigators say Charvas Thompson took his own life while in a Louisiana jail. Police say he shot and killed Wendy Duan in her backyard.
The coward could not bear to face the consequences, but his actions have left Wendy's mother to suffer yet another devastating loss, the loss of justice. She received a text message from the police station asking her to stop by, and when she got there, they informed her that Charvas hung himself and the case was officially closed.
When we went to police station, they told us he hung himself. The case is closed. We lose her, so I don't know how long it take me. I miss her forever.
She couldn't fathom how someone as evil as Charvas could take her daughter's life. She expressed her hope that he would receive the full legal punishment for his heinous crime. Unfortunately, justice was denied. The family would never have closure, as the cowardly Charvas took his own life rather than face the consequences of his actions. Tributes flooded in for Wendy after the news of her death spread to family and friends. One person posted on Facebook, "The small moments I spent with her, she was a force of light. She was, and still is, loved by many people, and my heart breaks that she lost her life." Another person wrote, "She wanted to do some goods in the community, so she came out to volunteer with us. She was a very friendly and soft-spoken person."
Those who knew the Boone Elementary School teacher said she was a kind and soft-spoken person who dedicated her career to helping kids and then spending her free time volunteering to feed the homeless.
She did have a great spirit. She was very nice and a loving person.
This heartbreaking story serves as a reminder of the dangers of online dating and the importance of trusting our instincts.